Hi, this is Haley from PitchBook. PitchBook Credit, powered by LCD, provides actionable insights across the full credit lifecycle with access to data, news, and expert commentary on the leveraged loan, high-yield bond, and private credit markets. With our credit dashboard, users can access PitchBook Credit from one central place. This video will provide an overview of how to use the credit dashboard to easily navigate between LCD credit news and research, the debt and lender screening tool, and the Morningstar Leveraged Loan Indexes for a 360-degree view of the credit markets and key players. Now, I'll turn it over to Chris from our PitchBook Solutions team to walk you through everything the credit dashboard has to offer.
Starting from our homepage, we'll want to navigate to the Credit tab here, and this will take us directly to the dashboard. Now, within the dashboard, just a couple of things to highlight. Think of this as your go-to place to quickly see all of the different aspects of our PitchBook Credit solutions that you have access to, specifically news, research, and data. In the top left-hand corner here, you'll see that for market intelligence as it concerns specific deal activity and specific issuers and lender activity, Credit News is going to be your go-to resource there for tracking news through the life cycle. So pre-launch, before a deal comes to market, to once it's live and any changes throughout that deal execution window, to post-close and beyond. And if we just click into this top article here as an example, so here's a good illustration of what you can expect to find. So for this deal, you'll find the latest reporting, the deal terms, but I also want to highlight on the top right-hand corner how you see linking back to the profiles of the deal participants. So from the issuer to the lender to the sponsor. And each one is going to capture something that's specific to the entity type. So for example, in the case of a sponsor, you'll see information that's more relevant there, such as funds and investments. In the case of a lender, you'll see portfolios and credit facilities. Similarly, for an issuer, you'll see, in addition to any deal activity, company-specific information, whether that's financials, comparables, firmographic information. So definitely recommend exploring. But the main thing to call out is that the news is a great way to connect to broader players in the market, not just the deal itself. Now, right next to credit news, you'll notice loan and bond calendars. These will be more for forward-looking activity. So anything that's imminent activity expected to launch in the next couple of days, it could be shadow calendar activity, actually having no set launch date. So it could be in a couple of months, could be in a couple of quarters. So if you're looking for anything that's not in market, has no firm date, then this is a great resource here. And just to caution you, given the sheer volume of our news team's reporting, you could expect to see anywhere from 60 to 100 or more stories daily, just given market activity. So you do have the ability to customize and set preferences according to what's optimal. So perhaps you'd rather see an end of day digest, or maybe you do prefer the real-time alerts. Just know that there's options for both. Moving on from news now into research and more of the expert commentary looking at market trends and key developments. That's where you'll want to explore the trend articles, but also, of course, PitchBook LCD's research section. With respect to the trend article section here, this is going to be much more macro and thematic in nature. This is more, we call this our topical reporting. As our analysts and our journalists notice that there's an uptick in a certain topic area, then they'll report on that. So this is very much responsive to user feedback, client feedback, and anything that we're hearing in the market will inform, what the next topical piece might be. Now, contrast that with LCD research. This follows more of a set production schedule. So we'll publish reports daily, weekly, monthly, and quarterly. And that's where you can get your regular updates on issuance, pricing trends, leverage statistics. So it's more so, best way to think about it is research is where you're looking for a regular update on key metrics that you'll want to consult regularly, whereas trend stories will be what's trending in any given week. Now, moving on, going from the macro now to the detailed view. So let's say you've noticed an interesting trend, you'd like to dive deeper and see who are the specific players, what are the specific deals underlying that trend. Then I'll just draw your attention to our debt and lenders screener here on the left-hand side, right under news. And you'll notice it's preloaded with some of the most popular searches. So of course, recently issued leveraged loans, recently issued direct lending deals, but then also private equity backed deals, and then even a view into the most active lenders too. Now, each one, as you can see, just as with the news stories, you can click into it. So I mentioned, as opposed to news and research, which will be valuable for market intelligence, this is where you'd go for, perhaps comps, or wanting to dive deeper into a specific issuer, or perhaps a peer group, or lenders as well, and really drill down to the key terms, pricing, structure, fees, anything related to a specific deal. And you'll notice at the very top, we'll have this ribbon here that's updating to show performance of the leveraged loan asset class directly from Morningstar's Leveraged Loan Indexes. So on the US side, we have the LSTA US Leveraged Loan Index. On the European side, we've got the ELI. Each one is going to flash, what's happening as far as year-to-date and month-to-date performance. Where's the weighted average bid price currently at? And so if you click into this, as with the other groups that you saw on the dashboard, this will take you into the underlying detail and just a quick way to be able to examine performance of the asset class, whether it is for the full universe of 1.4 trillion leveraged loan market, or subsets of that index, by industry, by ratings category. I also want to draw your attention to this section here, tools for credit research. As you'll notice, there are various different categories here. We call these our asset class dashboards. So it's just a quick way to be able to do a deeper dive, within, whether it's leveraged loans, private credit, bonds, and so on. You can click into any one of these and it'll take you to its dedicated page on the platform that's just going to have curated research specific to that. So as an example, let's look at private credit. And a very popular chart is this one here, showing effectively the back and forth between traditional lenders in the syndicated market and direct lenders in the private credit space. So, let's say you're looking to update a certain market deck, easy access to that via the download feature here. And this is true for any of these landing pages, whether that's CLOs, again, summary information at the top. Scroll down, you'll see the trend charts, typically last 12 months, and easy access to both the graphics as well as the underlying data points. The main way to think about the credit dashboard that you see in front of you is, as you can see, you have plenty of resources at your disposal. We want to ensure that you're able to quickly access what you're looking for, whether that is market intelligence resources, news, research, commentary, whether it is forward-looking activity via the calendars, screening tools to see specific participants, specific transactions and deal terms, or the indexes for benchmarking and performance of the asset class.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you want to learn more, PitchBook Pioneer offers robust e-learning courses and live trainings to help you get the most out of PitchBook. Not a client yet? Book a demo today.